So I was just kind of perusing the internet and I came across this interesting thing and I just thought I would mention it. It is a jumbo ABY style studio Gendizer figure. I've never heard of ABY style. I certainly know who Gendizer is. Uh, so there's the figure. And you can see if you have any knowledge of the old Shogun warriors, this bears a striking resemblance. So this is one of these Shogun warriors. This is Great Mazinger. I've had this figure since I was a little kid, back in the 70s. It's about 2 feet high, all plastic. And I kind of, I have a soft spot for these figures. But it's hard to find anything. They've tried to make other figures that are like this, and I'll explain why I have never gotten any. So here's this one, and so if we go down here a little bit, so it's available starting August 28th, 2023, and then it has a pre-order window that's closing April 30th, and I could swear that when I first looked at this, it actually had end of February for the pre-order close window. So maybe they didn't sell as many as they were hoping for. This is actually a limited. It's got 3,000 numbered units being produced worldwide. So personally, I'm not a real big fan of that. If your part of the price goes into its exclusivity, I'm not a huge fan of doing stuff like that. Some cases I'm okay with that. Other cases, not a fan. So it's 24 inches high. So it's about exactly the size of a Shogun warrior. I don't see it having, the only mention in here of diecast is a clip-on metal belt. So I'm not sure if that's clip-on metal belt onto him or if it's a clip-on metal belt for a belt. Like, I'm not sure what that means. So it's got 14 red and white missiles, just kind of like my missiles here. They bolt onto the side. And you can't really see it here. I'll show you. Let me see. So there's a different picture that shows more how they're bolted on. And you could see, look at the hand there. That is almost exactly the same as the hand on my Shogun warrior. And it's even got it's got the Japanese writing on there. And here, this has got the Japanese writing. In fact, if I went in here, so here's another picture of the figure. And you can compare that to the original Gendizer Shogun warrior, and you could see how similar they are. Now, I'll say that this figure looks superior in this area here, kind of in the legs, the detailing in the legs. Compare that. I think it does look like an improvement. It's got wheels on the bottom. And it looks like it's got wheels on the bottom there. So it's in the description in here, it says inspired by the great classics. And so I'm thinking they probably mean Shogun warriors, but maybe for legal reasons they can't say Shogun warriors. It says its design will delight both the nostalgic and the most demanding fans, thanks to the care that has been given to the design. Okay, so it looks really cool. The problem is it is $650. And I think, if I read somewhere, it's about $100 shipping. So that's a super expensive figure for what looks like a upgraded Shogun warrior. And those Shogun warriors were not that expensive. I know my parents got me this, and they were not wealthy. So I'm not sure where the cost is going there into the price. It looks cool, but certainly, and I don't really see it selling on other figure specialties. If I go on to Big Bad Toy Store, so they have some big size figures, which I've never ended up getting. This one here, this is an all plastic Mazinger Z Minerva X, which is less than 1.5 feet tall. So I have seen figures that look kind of like Shogun Warriors. So I mean, these here, I did get one of the Evolution toys, and I was a little disappointed. Again, it's about less than 1.5 feet tall. It does have some die cast, but it's problematic having figures this big. The nice thing about the Shogun Warriors is the simplicity of it. The joints are, it's got some swivel. That's about it. The neck can move. The paldire or whatever, paldire will come out. The wrists will move a little bit right up here. And that's it. It really doesn't do anything else. And I would be willing to get something like an upgraded Shogun Warrior, but not for $650. I would love to see how they come into the cost of it, other than its exclusivity at $3,000. Certificate of authenticity. So it does have light up features, but I don't think there's much cost in light up features. Ejectable fist. I have another figure Shogun Warrior with an ejectable fist. So it looks cool, but I can't see myself having interest in something not at that cost. If it was, more in the $200 range for all plastic figure, I might go for it, but not for $650. Anyway, so that's the ABYstyle Studio Gendizer figure, about 2 feet tall, and clearly taking inspiration from the Shogun Warriors of the 1970s.